Alright, what up, y'all? Another day in the books, and we had some earnings action from Netflix. Netflix and chill. Before we jump into that, we'll take a look here at the Big Three board. And as far as the indices go, everything on the scoring system looks really good. S&Ps and QQQ, they've got a perfect 10 out of 10 on the monthly, the weekly, the daily, the 4-hour, and the hourly time frame. So now the question is, do we have a path into SPX 4900? I think the key for tomorrow morning, 30-minute squeezes. The light blue Big Three, that means we got a squeeze and a slingshot signal. So we'll jump to the S&Ps here. Oh, S&Ps, where art thou? Alright, so the spiders. So last week we're getting the slingshot buy signal on the daily squeeze, which is now fired to the upside. The target right up there at 4,900. For tomorrow, I think the 30-minute squeeze, which also prints the slingshot signal, which is basically the heads up. All right, you're in an uptrend. Structure's really bullish. You had a break in momentum. That break in momentum did not break the structure. Therefore, if momentum can bottom and then turn back up towards zero, squeeze typically wants to fire to the upside. So these arrows up here, the arrows on the squeeze histogram and that blue label, that's a part of the update that we pushed last week. So if you have the indicator, check your email. If you don't have the indicator, that is now part of the system. But yeah, for tomorrow, if they can get that puppy to fire to the upside, take out the highs here, that should open the door for a push towards that 4,900. And then on the QQQ, the good old Q-tips, there is a 30-minute squeeze, and we've got the slingshot signals as well. So same drill. If they can fire that to the upside, if they can take out the highs, should be a pretty good pump here. A good pump in the QQQ. But then I want to show you Netflix on the board. And this is what makes earnings a little tricky. It's a big coin flip. You might have the perfect setup, you might have a bunch of buy signals, you might buy that before earnings, and it might crap all over you. It is a bit of a coin flip. But man, Netflix here, right up my alley. Everything on the scoreboard looks good. Bunch of 8s, we got a few 10s. More importantly is that combination. Everything grades out well, so momentum, the structure, the stacked EMAs, the direction of the moving averages, everything's bullish. I then want to combine that with a bunch of squeezes. We've got the slingshot squeeze on the daily chart in the 4-hour. We've got squeezes with a buy signal on the 2-hour, the 30-minute, and the 5-minute. So one thing we did know going into earnings, Netflix is fixing the bust to move. Building up energy, building up energy, building up energy. And now with the earnings announcement, the energy has been released. She closes at 492, and in the after hours we're trading up here at 530. So some good news and some bad news. The good news is, anybody who is long Netflix, assuming this can stick into the open, you are going to be a little bit richer tomorrow. The bad news for a guy like me, who wanted to wait until after earnings to buy Netflix, I have pretty much missed the bus. I done missed the bus, Gus. Had I gotten a chance to buy it, ideally in the squeeze near that 21 EMA, my target would have been 525.25. So again, the fact that we're going to gap up around 530, I am a little bit late. So the game plan for me here, I'm going to mark up the previous highs, 500, 505-ish. If I can catch any kind of dip, and the structure holds, the buy signals hold, and they keep it north of that 505, that might be my chance to buy it and look for a bit more continuation. But for now, I am a little bit too late, so congrats to anyone who caught that. And again, for tomorrow, watch your 30-minute squeezes on the S&Ps and the QQQ. Daily squeeze just fired. You've got a bunch of buy signals. If that squeeze can fire long, I think you're looking up north to 4,900. And for the futures traders in here, if the futures tickle your fancy, S&Ps did close right at that key 4,900 level. And we had a few slingshot squeezes here. Started on the 30-minute. 30-minute fired long. And then the hourly slingshot squeeze, that fired long as well. Now for tomorrow, I think you want to watch the 1 hour and watch your 2 hour. The 1 hour just fired. If they can trigger the 2 hour, that's going to trigger a nice push. That might take the futures towards 49.25, 49.30. That lines up with SPX at 4,900. So that is what I'm watching for tomorrow. Netflix with some good action here. And next on board is going to be some Tesla. And I'll show you Tesla here real quick. Just so happens Tesla is the only name on the board with a negative weekly chart. The only one with a negative score on the daily chart. The 4 hour, the 1 hour, the 30, the 15 minute. Of the bunch, Tesla is not the prettiest. The one level I will show you, if the bulls got any hope here, watch your 220. 220 right near that weekly 200 SMA. We're currently positioned, it's pretty similar to how things were back here in October. The weekly squeeze is printing. Price breaks under the 21. They take out the 50. They take out the 200. They pretty much got Tesla as close to firing that weekly squeeze short as possible. And it didn't break short. Close but no cigar. After earnings, if they can pop it back above that 220 and keep it back above that 220, it's not going to fix all the issues. It'll be very far from fixing the issues. That will leave the bulls with a slight chance to maybe want to slingshot that squeeze higher. So keep that in your back pocket. But otherwise, guys, have a great night. Be safe. Stay warm. If you haven't already, hit the like and the subscribe button. If you have the Big 3 squeeze, check your email for the update. And as always, if you want to check out the indicators, the mastery, the class, all that good stuff, link is in the description. Adios.